Welcome back to All Things Soggy Buns. The podcast where we dig into all the crazy stuff happening in the food world.
It's great.
And today we're going deep on something super important, but also kind of boring.
Yeah,
Food handlers' licenses and all the certifications you need.
you got it. They may not be as fun as perfecting a smoky rub or anything,
Right.
but they're the backbone of food safety, you know?
Absolutely. Make sure everyone handling food knows how to keep things safe and clean.
Exactly. Prevents those nasty foodborne illnesses nobody wants.
Yeah. And our listeners know this.
Yeah.
Here at Soggy Buns,
Yeah.
our Maryland-based BBQ food truck and catering service,
Yeah.
owned by the amazing Toby and Ola, we take food safety seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
These licenses and certifications prove you're committed to doing things right.
Totally agree. And to guide us through this jungle, we've got some awesome resources from Food Docs.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of them.
They specialize in those digital food safety management systems.
Fancy.
They're the experts. Their insights are super valuable.
All right, so let's break this down. There's a ton of jargon around food handler credentials.
Yeah.
Licenses, permits, cards, certifications. It's like alphabet soup.
Oh, for sure. It can be a real head scratcher.
So what's the actual difference?
Well, they're often used interchangeably, honestly.
Yeah, makes sense.
And the specifics can change depending on where you are.
Oh, right, of course.
But the main idea is the same.
Sure.
Training
Okay.
and then passing an exam
Okay.
to prove, the food safety stuff. It's like a thumbs up from the health department.
So basically, it's like a driver's license, but for food.
Exactly. You got to know the rules of the road before you can handle food.
And just like driving, the rules can change from place to place.
Right. Some states might say license, others permit,
Makes sense. Okay, so let's tackle each type. First up, the food handler's license.
Okay.
What exactly is that, and why is it so important?
Think of it as your basic training certificate.
Okay, got it.
It shows you learned the fundamentals of food safety.
Like what kind of stuff?
Proper hand washing, temperature control, preventing cross-contamination, recognizing when food's gone bad.
Makes sense.
It's the foundation.
So if I go into a restaurant and see all the employees with their licenses displayed,
Yeah.
I can feel good knowing they've got the basics down.
Absolutely. It means they take food safety seriously.
Okay, good to know.
Now, some states require everyone who touches food to have a license.
Oh, wow.
Others might only need one licensed person per shift.
Huh, interesting.
But more trained people is always better, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Creates a culture of food safety.
Makes sense. So how do you actually get a food handler's license? What's the process?
Pretty straightforward, actually. You usually enroll in a training course,
Okay.
online or in person.
Okay.
They cover all the essentials. Then you take an exam to prove you learned this stuff.
Sounds manageable. How much does it usually cost?
Depends on the state and the provider, but it's usually not too bad.
Okay.
Somewhere between $5 and $100.
Oh, okay.
A small price to pay for peace of mind, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely.
Peace of mind for the business and for the customers.
Exactly.
Speaking of peace of mind, if you're looking for delicious BBQ made with the highest safety standards,
Yeah.
look no further than Soggy Buns.
That's right. Toby and Ola,
Right.
the owners, they're passionate about great food and top-notch safety.
Seriously, head to soggybuns.com, that's buns with a Z,
Yeah.
to see our menu and where we're rolling next.
Great BBQ.
Now back to those licenses. What about food handlers permits?
Okay.
How are those different?
A permit's similar to a license.
Okay.
You still prove you did the training,
Okay.
but permits are often location-specific.
Ah.
So commit from one state might not work in another.
Oh, interesting.
Got to meet your local health department's rules.
So it's kind of like your driver's license.
Yeah.
You can drive anywhere in the U.S.,
Right.
but you got to register your car in your state.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you renew your driver's license.
Oh, yeah.
Food handlers permits usually need renewing every 3 years.
Oh, wow. Keeps everyone up to date with the latest rules and best practices.
Like a refresher course.
Exactly. Keeps those skills sharp.
Now, what about those food handler certificates I keep hearing about?
Oh, yeah.
Are those the same deal?
Certificates are a bit different.
Yeah?
Licenses and permits are about the basics,
Right.
but certificates often mean more training
Okay.
or specializing in a certain area of food safety. Think of it like a master's degree in food safety.
Fancy.
Yeah.
So someone might get a certificate if they want to manage food safety for a huge catering company?
Exactly. Or a food factory or something.
Interesting.
There are certificates for all sorts of stuff.
Really?
Allergen awareness, HACCP implementation, you name it.
Wow.
Shows you're an expert in a specific area.
Okay, I get it.
And it looks good to potential employers.
So we got licenses for the basic knowledge,
Yeah.
permits for location-specific stuff,
Uh-huh.
and certificates for those who want to level up their food safety skills.
Exactly. But remember, the specifics for each one can change a lot.
Oh, right. Right.
Depends on where you are and the type of food business you're in.
So doing your homework and checking with the local health department is always a good idea.
Always. Better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to people's health.
Couldn't agree more.
You know, it's not just about individual employees, though.
Oh, yeah.
The business itself has a responsibility, too.
Makes sense. Like, you wouldn't expect a chef to just walk into an empty warehouse and start cooking.
Exactly. You need the right kitchen equipment systems.
To make sure everything's running smoothly and safely.
Right. That's where all those business licenses and permits come in.
Okay, so we talked about credentials for food handlers.
Mm-hmm.
But what about licenses for the whole business?
Right.
What are the essentials every owner should know about?
First off, there's the employer identification number,
The what?
the EIN.
Okay.
It's like a social security number for your business
Okay.
from the IRS.
Yes, sir.
You need it for taxes, opening a bank account, hiring employees, basically any official business stuff.
So it's like the ID card for your business.
Exactly. Then you've got the sales tax license,
And that's for...
collecting sales tax on the food you sell,
Oh, right.
as required by your state.
And those taxes go towards important stuff.
Absolutely. Schools, roads, public safety,
All the good stuff.
all essential for a healthy community.
Right. So EIN for general business, sales tax license for taxes. What else?
You'll probably need a building permit
What's that for?
to make sure your facility meets building codes and health regulations.
Okay.
Covers things like ventilation, plumbing, electrical systems, fire safety.
So it's not just about the food itself.
Right.
But also the actual space where it's prepped and served.
Exactly. It's about a safe and healthy environment for everyone.
And I bet this is super important for food trucks.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They're like mobile kitchens.
Exactly. They got to make sure their unit meets all the safety standards, even though they're moving around all the time.
That makes sense. So what about the permission to actually operate as a food business? Is there a license for that?
Yeah, that's the food service license
Ah!
from your local health department.
Oh.
Shows you've met all the requirements for prepping and serving food safely.
So this one covers all those details we talked about earlier.
Yep. Food handling, temperature control, sanitation, the whole 9 yards.
Like the official seal of approval from the health department?
Exactly. This business is good to go.
And I bet this one comes with regular inspections.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Health inspectors are key to ensuring food safety.
Oh, right, of course.
They check everything's up to code.
Like an extra set of eyes.
Exactly.
What?
Protecting public health, making sure everyone's following the rules.
Now, besides these food-specific licenses, I'm guessing there's a general business registration license.
You got it. Just like any other business,
Right.
registers your business with the state,
Okay.
lets you operate legally.
Like the official handshake with the state saying, hey, we're here to do business?
Exactly. And one more you might need, especially if you buy ingredients in bulk.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
The resale permit
What's that one for?
lets you buy stuff without paying sales tax,
What?
since you'll be collecting it from your customers later.
Oh, I see.
Prevents double taxation.
That's important for keeping costs down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially for small businesses.
So we've got EIN sales tax, license building permit, food service license, business registration, license resale permit. That's a lot.
It is, but it's all about creating a safe and fair food environment.
And this isn't even everything right.
Nope. There might be other permits needed depending on what kind of food business you have, your location, and other things.
Oh, okay.
For example, if you serve alcohol,
Oh, yeah,
you need a liquor license.
Right.
If you're processing or packaging food, there are even more regulations and permits.
So it's best to check with local and state authorities.
Always make sure you've got everything covered.
Speaking of covering all the bases, let's
Yeah.
talk about a business that really shows what commitment to food safety looks like.
So,
Soggy Buns.
Toby and Ola, they've built an amazing reputation.
For delicious food and doing things by the book.
They're food safety champs.
Always going above and beyond to make sure every customer has a safe and tasty experience.
If you're in Maryland and haven't tried Soggy Buns, you're missing out.
Seriously, go to soggybuns.com. That's buns with a Z.
You'll find their menu location, schedule, catering options, the whole shebang.
Now back to our discussion. I'm curious about what happens if you don't have the right licenses?
Oh.
What are the consequences? So what happens if a business gets caught without the right licenses and permits?
Well, it depends,
Yeah, on what?
the violation, the location, how serious it is.
Makes sense.
But usually
Yeah.
it can be anything from warnings,
Uh-huh.
fines,
Right.
temporary closure,
Wow.
or even losing your business license altogether.
Yikes. Not good.
Not at all. Operating without those licenses is illegal and super risky.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Puts the business and the public in danger.
And I bet it would hurt the business's reputation, too.
Definitely. Especially if there's a foodborne illness outbreak.
Oh, yeah. That's a nightmare.
It can be devastating financially and for their image.
Right.
Really hard to gain back trust after that.
So just not worth the risk.
Not at all. It's much better to be prepared and have everything in order right from the start.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just a one-time thing, right?
Right.
We talked about renewing those food handler permits.
Yeah.
Do other licenses and permits need to be renewed, too?
Most of them do.
Okay.
They have expiration dates.
Oh, right.
And you got to renew them.
Makes sense.
The process and how often can change, though.
Of course.
Depends on the license and where you are.
So it's a lot to keep track of.
It is. But luckily, there's technology to help.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Digital systems, like the one from Food Docs.
Right, we mentioned them.
They streamline the whole process.
How so?
Send reminders for renewals,
Oh, that's handy.
and you can store all your documents in one place.
Sounds like a lifesaver.
It really is. Takes the stress out of staying compliant.
Makes sense. So looking ahead, what do you think the future holds for food safety?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think technology is going to be huge.
Oh, yeah. In what way?
We're already seeing things like blockchain to track food
Blockchain.
from farm to table,
That's amazing.
improves traceability and transparency.
Right.
And there are sensors that can monitor food quality in real time.
Oh, really?
Yep. Imagine sensors that can detect spoilage before we can even see it.
That's wild. Sounds like we're on the verge of some major advancements.
For sure. It's a really exciting time to be in the food industry.
And speaking of exciting, let's give another shout out to Soggy Buns.
Absolutely. Toby and Ola are pioneers in the BBQ world,
Always pushing the limits of flavor.
while never compromising on safety.
If you're in Maryland and craving delicious, safe BBQ,
Head to soggybuns.com. That's buns with a Z.
you won't regret it. Well, it looks like we've reached the end of our deep dive into food handler licenses and food safety.
We covered a lot of ground,
We did. Hopefully our listeners learned a lot.
whether they're running a food business or just enjoying a meal out.
Exactly. Big thanks to you for sharing your expertise with us.
My pleasure.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on All Things Soggy Buns. We'll catch you next time for another delicious deep dive into the world of food.